Still on the epidemiology of this, HMPV. I mean, they say it's usual during winters. We don't have winter here. What we have is harmattan. Are we likely to have similar wave?
Well, I wouldn't want to say we are going to have similar wave. As just like my senior colleagues have said, we are just trying not to take chances. What we are currently doing is part of epidemic preparedness and response. We don't need to wait until we record any outbreak before we take steps. So, based on evidence, this virus is everywhere globally, and it is common among children, and it belongs to a group of virus that causes both upper and lower respiratory infections among children. And other group are the respiratory syncytial virus, the mumps, and the measles. So, the measles virus. So it is not new, but our concern is the fact that it was mentioned that there were a kind of recorded cases in China and so on. We think it is actually we take a caution just to make sure that we don't have such kind of picture in Nigeria. That's why I think it's very important we take that step. But I don't think we should be expecting such based on the level of preparedness. And already there has been NCDC, with due respect, there have been already risk assessment on that issue, and it has been placed at moderate risk. But what we are just trying to do is to make sure that we can continue to monitor the event as it's ongoing, so that we take necessary steps to ensure that we don't record that. But based on the fact that this virus has been there for a long time, which is common among children, as I've mentioned, it's just that occasionally we see it among the elderly, those that are greater than 65 years of age, and those that have some underlying respiratory conditions like chronic pulmonary diseases, those that have congestive heart failure, and those that have immunosuppressive conditions like HIV, those that have autoimmune diseases, and so on. So these are why it's good to take caution, but I think don't expect that we'll get to that level in terms, based on the fact that it has been categorized as moderate risk, and the fact that it is not new, and the fact that I think we are prepared to handle any kind of emergencies that may unfold any moment from now.
Okay, Dr. Jamiu, of course, we are prepared. I intend to ask more questions on that preparedness, really, to fight this virus. But please speak about what you already mentioned, that it's common amongst children. Why is that? And when you say children, it include newborns. I mean, is there a category, really? And then you talked about the elderly and those who already have underlying ailments. Is it the same case for children? Or, I just want to understand, why it's more around this bracket you have mentioned.
Okay, actually, it's commoner among children. Children less than 5 years old, but more or less among premature children. And the peak period of infection of that disease is between 6 to 12 months. Those are people that's the peak period, the category of children that is more affected. And it has also been, based on evidence, it has also been reported that about 10 to 12% of respiratory illness in children is attributed to this virus. So it is not new. And usually, majority of cases are mild. It's only occasionally that we have severe cases based on the risks I've already highlighted. So it is not really something new. It's just that we need to be more proactive and prepared in case there's any upsurge in that. And also, one thing I also want to say is that most children recover from it, especially those that have milder cases. Is only realizing that, as I've said, a very less than about barely less than 16% or so may end up developing a severe condition, and that is what I mean by the severity is those that end up having a pneumonia, that is lower respiratory tract infection. If not, it is something that why we are not actually concerned about is that it is something that go on its own. It has a incubation period about 3 to 6 days, and it's expected that within 3 to 5 days an individual should be able to recover from it. It's only on very rare cases when some people may have a prolonged illness, and they will require actually a form of intervention, which usually happen to be supportive kind of management, as highlighted earlier, like oxygen therapy, IV fluid, treat symptomatically. And if there are any a kind of secondary bacterial infection, that's when such a kind of individual would benefit from antibiotics. Thank you.